Coverage of Gamescom has been brought to you by Xsolla. Learn how you can get increased earnings for your game at the end of the video.
Precision platformers, streamer bait, rage games, friend slop, or maybe even asset flips. There's a lot of ways to call the games that we make, Unicycle Pizza Time and Paddle Paddle Paddle. I'm here with Matteo. You're the developer of Paddle Paddle Paddle, right? Can you tell me a little bit, what is this game and how has the development of it been, honestly?
Yeah, Paddle 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 is a co-op paddle rage game where you and a friend are in a paddle boat and you have to paddle together through a dangerous level of lava, different biomes, and it's a really hard co-op game.
Yeah, because I've been following, because I like this style of game, to be honest, and I've been following the development since you made that first prototype on X and you showcased it. How does the development look like? Because this was a pretty short dev cycle game at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I made the first prototype within 3 hours because I had the idea when I took a shower, and then I made a demo in 2 weeks, published it on Steam, and then it went viral between German streamers and some people from the UK too. But first the German streamer wave came and then the international wave also after launch.
Do you think it's like, because that's the thing, this is not the first game you made, right? You've been working on a bunch of games before this as well?
Yeah, I made some 2D platformers, I made a roguelike and a racing game too, indie racing. But the Paddle Rage game was my second commercial release now.
And looking at like that comparison now, I feel like the problem is this has been a pretty successful game. Do you want to go back to those other genres, or is it like, you've seen now, oh, I have small dev cycle, I have great virality, it's made me good amounts of money. Are you now like, yeah, I'm going to make 5 more paddle likes, the next one's going to be, I don't know, helicopter or something like that? What's the, like, does it change the future for you now a bit?
Yeah, to be honest, the money tastes really good, I have to admit, because I'm a student and I want to make a living out of video games in the future. So making more rage games with this rival feature is really does really taste good. But right now I have some more games in my backlog with Rogue Jungle, for example, which will be out in the end of the year. But I also have some plans for more rage games, so you will definitely see some more more rage games soon.
Yeah, I think one problem that we had after we released Unicycle Pizza Time was we had that feeling of, okay, well, we need to make more of this. But like you said, you came up with the idea in a shower. It's kind of like, I don't know if you maybe had done some prototypes, I've done at least, of like, oh, this could be a good rage game and it's going to be easy money. And then you prototype it, but it doesn't feel good. It's not like everything is a rage game, right? There is like, I think from the outside, you guys maybe think like, oh, I could make this game as well. And maybe, but there's like a lot of harder games as well, no? What's that thought of like, what makes a good streamer bait game in your opinion?
To be honest, I did not really make much testing and stuff. I just made a prototype and it went good on social media, so people liked it. And also big streamers reached out and wanted to play the game already from this like 3 hours in development prototype. I guess this streamer-based aspect is really important, that you have to think which streamer could like it, which content creator could make a video out of it, because in the end the game will only go viral if you have streamers playing it. So you need some people who play it and record it. I think making a game that is fun is way more important because the streamers will come in the end either way.
Yeah, so one question there, because you are, can I say, terminally online almost on Twitter as well, where you were posting a lot of like updates and whatever. Do you feel like that was an important part of like the marketing and like validation as well, or is it like, you can make a streamer bait game without all of that social media pushing off like the open development almost?
I mean, it's important to get a wish list, so it's important to make some posts on social media and also get into events and stuff like that. But I would say maybe getting into an event or into a showcase is more important than making a YouTube video or making a Twitter post or TikTok post. I mean, for TikTok and Instagram, rage games could go really good because they are easy to understand and hard to master in most cases. So
and very visual, I guess, as well, which is what you want for those styles of games.
Yeah, so I could think that maybe just having events and Steam features and maybe some streamers play is more important than making a lot of posts on social media.
And did you do, which events did you join? And did you manage all of that yourself? Because you're here with a publisher as well, but that publisher joined pretty late in development, right? So everything leading up to that was just done by you solo?
Yeah, it was done by myself. I made more posts on TikTok, so I made some more social media marketing than events, to be honest. But I was into one multiplayer event on Steam. And also I wanted to join the racing event, but it doesn't hit my schedule, sadly. But Steam Next Fest was a big boost with visibility and streamers playing the game. But the demo went viral before Next Fest, so it was more like big streamers played it because I wrote them on Twitter. So me reaching out to streamers was a big deal for Pede.
Do you think it's the move for this style of game to basically immediately try to put the demo out there just as fast as you can?
I think having a short development cycle is really good for a rage game because I think rage games do have to look goofy and have to look like cheap, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And they shouldn't look that high quality because gameplay is what counts, and you have to put all the effort into gameplay and making the multiplayer work. But in my case, I made the graphics in a few hours. I put them together in Blender, reused some things from Marquez Adventure, my previous game. But the graphics are my least priority, so I think that having the focus on gameplay, on polishing, on multiplayer, if you want to offer it, is more important. But yeah, I made some more videos on YouTube, for example, too, because I want to become more present on YouTube in the future. But I also want to be more active on TikTok right now because my games are made for TikTok because they are. You can show Pede vertically, so it's perfect for a TikTok video. And also I want to have more streamers and creators in my community, so TikTok and Twitter is really good.
One thing that I was very curious about, you made the conscious decision to have a separate map for the demo than for the full game, right? Was that something that from the beginning you were like, I'm going to do it this way? And do you think it impacted the game? Like if you would have reused the same map for the demo and then just made a longer version for the full game, do you think that would have had an impact?
Yeah, definitely, because a big streamer called Paraplatte said that he doesn't really like to play a demo because he wants to play the finished game already. So having to play the demo and after that the full game is like a repetition, so they don't want to show the same content. So if you really want to have big people play the game, you have to make a demo which is with a separate content, because most streamers don't like to play a demo with the same content as the game, as a full game. So I would recommend everyone to make maybe like just a small map to test out the demo and to have like a start and a finish in like 30 minutes, 60 minutes or something like that, and not just have the full game and after 30 minutes of gameplay there's a screen with there's a demo, thank you for playing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did that take a lot of time? Because that's of course the problem, it's like I am making two games essentially then. Or was that okay? Because I remember for Unicycle Pizza Time, the mechanics were easy. It was just making that map that felt good, that was like, because you need to test it all in one go as well to really get the feeling and all of that. How was that for you? Like, did you spend, like, what was the most time-intensive part of making this game?
Yeah, for Pede, it was a demo map, took me about 2 weeks, so not that much time. But the full game had much more focus onto the Pede mechanic, more obstacles, more things that the player can interact with, like the cannons. You can have this cannon ship, you have a wing platform which can fly. So you have much more platforming elements in there and much more obstacles and variation. So making this obstacle variation was what took me the time, you know. Also testing, we had QA test the game, it was really good. Because the game had a lot of bugs and I thought it was finished, but the QA said there are a lot of bugs that has to be fixed. So yeah, QA took I think a few weeks, but the demo map took around 2 weeks and the full map around 2 months to make. Okay,
yeah, that is pretty long still. So you mentioned QA. That was something that you then did once you got signed with Assemble Entertainment, because they were like, hey, this is part of our package. How did that work? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? Because of course, I think they signed with you like a month before release or something.
Yeah, I think 1.5 or 1 month before release. But I was ready to also delay the release a bit, but I really want to get the game out. So we thought, why not just drop the game at end of July? So we did it, you know. We had enough wish lists, so I think we had 10,000 wishes on launch, so I thought, why not just get the game out? We are in popular upcoming, so what could happen? What could go wrong?
Yeah, and I think it went pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this may be already a tricky question, so if you don't want to answer it, what made you decide to go with a publisher when you almost had guaranteed success anyway? Because that's the thing of like, if you already have a decent amount of wish lists, it's like the publisher comes to you and it's like, okay, could I just do this myself and take 100% of the pie versus, having to share a little bit with them again?
I think I can talk about it openly, but it was more like I want to have a safe success, and Assemble is good at doing marketing in the international way, and I'm good with the German streamers, and I know a lot of German streamers, have them on contact on Twitter, have them on email and stuff, and my quote is really good with them, so I have a big success quote with reaching out and getting coverage. So I was like, I will focus on the German side of streamers and creators, and they will focus on the international side and write people like Smitty, People like Sniping Soup also made a video which went really good, and we also want to reach out to Markiplier and also maybe also like people like PewDiePie, but I think it's hard to reach, yeah.
So you got like maybe a little bit less than a traditional publisher contract where, you know, they fund everything up front and all of that. It was more just for the pure marketing purposes.
Pure marketing, yeah.
Okay. And you're generally happy with them, I guess.
I'm really happy.
And they also came to you and were like, hey, you want a booth here? Or was it something that you were like, you went to them and you were like, hey, I like to have a booth at Gamescom?
It was more like I have a booth on Saturday in the Games Ahead booth here on my own. So it was more like they will also bring my game here too because they have a publisher area. So I was like, really cool, thank you. But it was more like a happy coincidence, you know.
Maybe final things about the release, because I actually reached out to you as well about bundles. You've bundled with a whole bunch of games, or well, I think I reached out to you originally and then your publisher reached back to me. Is that something that you also think of, like how does that work, those cooperations? Did you think that they were worth it as well? Do you feel like, oh, there was an actual benefit of having all these bundles? Because I think the game of Sisyphus was a bundle you did as well.
I don't know, to be honest, how big the value was with bundles, but it's more like you get extra visibility and you have some more people in your networks then, you know. Yeah. So I was like, it's more about connecting with other developers and getting more exposure on the Steam page. And also like helping each other a bit out, you know. So it was a really good deal, I think. Yeah. But I don't really know if it was that worthy, to be honest.
Yeah, and then I also noticed here you have a collab right now between Paddle 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 and Bongo Cat. Was that something you did as well, or was that once again, you know, publisher deals with it and all of that?
It was more like, I think, I know Marcel, one of the developers behind Bongo Cat, very good. And we talked about it on an event, and I was like, maybe we can do a collab. And then I think Sam made the collab deal, and then I just made the
assets and
I
all
think
that.
maybe you can see it here in the outfit section. You have like, oh, I think it's not.
It's not unlocked.
It's not unlocked, sadly. But yeah, you have a Bongo Cat on your head, and then they just bongo on your head. You know, it's really fun and really cute cosmetic.
So that was a post-launch update. Did you do a lot of post-launch updates? Because I remember when we released our game, it was basically panic mode of like people won the checkpoints. We had like a bunch of like things that we made the game too hard, and they're like, this is like, you know, the negative reviews come in. Yeah. How was that for you? That post-launch trauma almost, so to say.
To be honest, I luckily had 0 bugs after launch, but the problem was that the game was really difficult at that time. And people, especially from Asia, had a lot of refunds because the game was too difficult. So I was like, maybe I can make it a bit more easy, and I want to focus more on the fun and not that much on making the most difficult co-op game. Because right now I think I have more like a really fun little co-op game instead of the most unbeatable co-op game that exists, you know. So I think post-launch update was more like balancing, fixing a few bugs that were minor, so the minor bugs, so not really important bugs. But I want to get them all out, you know. Yeah. Just some graphical problems with the environment and stuff, but I made, I think, 16 patches in 2 weeks, so every day a patch.
So I think you sold over 30,000 copies or something. I saw like on
right now it's 43,000, I think.
Okay, so that's really good. The question then is, are you planning stuff like DLC for this as well? Because you have something that's going, and you know that this is a formula that works well, the paddle. Is it like, it feels easier to then now spend like a month on making a DLC that you then sell for like $2-3 or whatever as well, versus like trying a whole new game as well? What's kind of the balance there? Because I think you're reaching a point where that could make sense to, you know, plan for a daily deal in like a few months, have a DLC update, or no plans for that really?
Right now I can show you that we have a separate racing mode in here. So right now you can have this racing mode where you can play with 1 to 4 friends, and you have to race against each other into a more like racing environment. So more like a Mario Kart round where you have like 2 to 3 minutes.
You're basically merging that other game that you worked, the indie karting game, into paddle.
But these maps are short and different and unique, you know. So you have like around 12 different maps into the full racing mode with around 2 to 3 minutes of length. So I think that's a really good deal for like maybe a DLC later on.
Okay, yeah. Let's say you're a viewer and you're watching, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make the next streamer bait game now, because I want to also sell 43,000 copies. One, should they make one? And 2, what is like your number one piece of advice for someone trying to make a game that's a streamer bait game, basically?
I would recommend you making a rage game, because it's a really good game to make, to get more popular, you know? Yeah. Because right now more people also know Zoroark, more people know me, I have more context now. I think I had like 800 new followers on LinkedIn, I have like 1,000 new followers on Twitter, and my YouTube channel also did really good on the time. So I think you can profit on that also with reaching more people. But I would say the profit is really what tasted good. I have to be honest.
You're very honest. That's honestly what it's supposed to be about.
I'm a student, so having that much money is like really amazing. And I can put the money into my future games and my more projects, and maybe also buying a new PC, getting better hardware and stuff like that. But yeah, the profit is really good.
Yeah,
I think really did well.
One final question, I'm sorry, that I want your opinion on.
Yeah.
Do you think single-player rage games still have potential? Because that is something that I feel like if you're making a rage game nowadays, especially if you want to go for that virality, it needs to have a multiplayer mode. Because I think maybe you saw it as well, if you look at the content creators, you can play this game solo as well, but I think with content creators, it's always better content, basically, right? If it's duo.
More like they're screaming at each other, they make fun of each other, the chat can laugh at them, and but there's a difficult game about climbing, with, from Pontypans, which is single player, and it did really well.
But it's a few years old at this point, and I feel like maybe the market has evolved, so has changed together and all of that.
That could
what
be.
Do you see that? Do you still see yourself make a single player only, like streamer-based game, or always going to be multiplayer? You think?
Multiplayer is way harder because you have to make online multiplayer in Unity, which is not that easy, and I have a lot of struggle with online multiplayer. But I would say making a single player game will definitely get not that much
traction.
That much people want to play it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Matteo, for all of the information. If you want to do more research, you can play the pedal. That's such a long name. You can play the pedal demo on Steam now, and then maybe buy the game later on as well if it's something for you. So thank you very much for wanting to do this video, and
thank you.
Good luck still at Gamescom. You have 4.5 days left until you can go back home. So time to stay strong. Good event. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you. Bye.
Big shout out once again to Xsolla, who made this coverage possible and sponsoring my event coverage here. I have some great news for you if you're a game developer and you're looking into earning more money. As in the wake of the Apple versus Epic court ruling, mobile game developers are now able to link to external payment platforms from their apps in comparison to having to rely on, for example, the Apple's built-in payment platform, which takes 30%, which is a very high amount of money to take. This allows you to retain way more revenue whilst also being able to streamline the experience for your players, whether they're buying from mobile, from PC, or from any other platform basically. And the good thing is you can get started with minimal setup today by integrating either the Xsolla buy button or the Xsolla web shop in your applications as well. There's a link down below that gives you a bit more information of how it all works. So thank you very much for Xsolla for sponsoring the video, and thank you very much for watching it.